Same car, same price, same dealership. Three people drive it home, same day. One of them is building wealth right now. One of them is just getting by. And one of them is slowly going broke. And here's the wild part. None of them think they made the wrong choice. Look, that's what makes this so dangerous. The mistake doesn't feel like a mistake. Not today, not next month, but a few years from now, you'll feel it. Same car, three choices. One of them leaves you broke. My name's Ricky, and if you've ever stood in a dealership wondering, am I getting screwed here? This video will answer that. Hit subscribe if you don't want to be the one going broke. Here's the thing. Most people don't walk into a dealership thinking about wealth. They're thinking about the monthly payment. That's it. Just, can I handle this every month? And honestly, that makes sense. That's how we were taught to think about cars. Your parents did it, your friends do it. The dealer literally speaks to you in monthly payments. It's only $450 a month. Sounds reasonable, right? Sounds manageable. But that's exactly where it starts going wrong. Because $450 a month feels like adulting, like you finally made it. You got the car, you got the keys, you're doing what grown-ups do. But here's what nobody mentions. That car is sitting outside right now, losing value every single day. While you're sleeping, while you're at work, while you're doing everything right, that car is worth less than it was yesterday, and you're still paying for it. The insurance is due, the registration hits, the maintenance sneaks up, and underneath it all, the monthly payment quietly eats into money you could have been building with. Nobody told you that when you signed the paperwork. The dealer was smiling, you were excited, you felt like you earned this. And somewhere in that excitement, the real cost got buried underneath a good feeling. That's the trap. And the scariest part is, it's designed to feel completely normal, like everyone does it. Because honestly, everyone does. Okay, so here's where I want to challenge something. Most people think the big car question is, should I buy or lease? Or maybe new car or used. Those feel like the decisions that matter, right? But that's not actually the question. The real question is, what is this car actually costing you over time? Not just the payment, the total cost. What you gave up by saying yes to this instead of something else. Here's what most people don't realize. A car isn't just an expense, it's a decision about your future. Every dollar going into something that loses value is a dollar that's not growing somewhere else. Now you might be thinking, Ricky, I need a car. I can't just not have one. And you're right. I have a car. Most people need one. That's not the argument here. The argument is how you buy it changes everything. There's a concept called opportunity cost. Sounds technical, but it's actually simple. It just means every choice closes a door somewhere else. When money goes here, it can't go there. So when you're paying $600 a month on a car, that's $600 that's not going into an investment account, not building an emergency fund, not being used to start something. And $600 a month over 5 years, that's $36,000, just gone, into a car that might be worth half what you paid. This is where it gets really interesting. The person driving the same car as you, but who made a different choice around how they got it, could be $40,000 ahead of you in 5 years. Not because they earn more, not because they're smarter, just because they thought about it differently. That's the shift. From what can I afford monthly to what is this actually costing my future self? All right, let's break this down. Same car, 3 ways to get it, 3 very different outcomes. Choice 1, you buy it brand new. And look, I get it. That's what I almost did. Because it feels right. New car smell, 0 miles. You earned this. But here's what actually happens. On a $35,000 car financed over 72 months at 7% interest, you're paying close to $43,000 by the time it's done. And the moment you drive off that lot, the car drops roughly 15% in value, first year alone. Choice 2, you lease it. Lower monthly payment, feels smart, but at the end of 3 years, you own nothing. You hand the keys back and start the whole cycle over again, forever. Choice 3, you find a used version. Same car, 2 or 3 years old, you pay maybe $22,000. Someone else already absorbed that first year depreciation hit. Your payment is lower, your loan is shorter, you still get the same car. Same experience, 3 completely different financial positions. Most people never even consider all 3. They walk in, they go new or lease, and they never run the actual numbers. That's where it goes wrong. Here's the cause and effect. The person who buys new on a 72-month loan, they're underwater for probably the first 2 years, meaning they owe more than the car is worth. That's a dangerous spot. If life happens, job loss, emergency, anything, they can't even sell the car cleanly to get out. The person leasing feels comfortable. Low payment, new car every few years, but they're renting forever. No equity, no endpoint, just payments that never stop. And the person who bought used, they're building equity from day one. Their loan ends, and when it does, that extra $400 doesn't disappear. It gets redirected, invested, grown. Because wealth isn't really about making more money. It's about where money goes after the bills are paid. And the car decision quietly controls a huge part of where you end up. Let me tell you about 2 people, Jordan and Maya. Same age, same city, same income around $55,000 a year, same taste in cars. They both wanted a Honda Accord. Jordan walks into the dealership, buys it brand new, 2024 model, $34,000 out the door. He finances it over 60 months at 7.5%. His monthly payment comes out to about $681. Add insurance, he's around $900 total just for that car. Maya does something different. She finds a 2022 Accord, same trim level, 28,000 miles, certified pre-owned. She pays $23,500, finances over 48 months at 6.9%. Her payment lands around $560. Insurance slightly less, she's at about $720 total. Same car experience, Maya is spending $180 less every single month. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Maya takes that $180 and puts it in an index fund every month. She doesn't touch it, just lets it sit. 5 years later, Jordan's car is paid off, worth maybe $14,000. He spent around $54,000 total when you add insurance and interest. Maya's car is also basically paid off, worth similar, but that $180 a month she invested at a conservative 8% return has grown to roughly $13,300. 5 years later, Maya has $13,000 growing in an account. Jordan has a car. That's it. Same car, different future. Now, let's talk about Tyler real quick. Tyler leased the same Accord, $389 a month. He felt smart, honestly. Low payment, new car every 3 years, but he put $2,500 up front. 3 years later, he handed it back, started a new lease. Over 6 years, Tyler spent over $30,000 and owns absolutely nothing. Look, leasing makes sense in specific situations. Business owners writing off the expense, maybe. But for the average person trying to actually get ahead, it's a slow financial leak you barely notice until it's too late. The psychology here is real. The low payment feels responsible. The new car every few years feels like a reward. But the math doesn't care about feelings. Okay, stop. Because there's something most people completely ignore when making a car decision. And honestly, it might be the most important thing in this whole video. It's not the interest rate. It's not even the price of the car. It's the length of the loan. Dealerships love long loans. 72 months, 84 months, 7 years to pay off a car. Why? Because it shrinks the monthly number. And when the payment looks small, you feel like you can afford more car than you actually can. But think about year 5 of a 7-year loan. Your car is aging, repairs are showing up, you're tired of it, but you still owe money on it. You're stuck. And that's where people make the second mistake. They trade it in early, roll the remaining balance into a new loan. Now they're paying interest on a car they don't even own anymore. It's called being upside down, and it's incredibly common right now. Nearly 1 in 3 car buyers are currently in negative equity on their vehicle. 1 in 3. Millions of people paying every month for something worth less than what they owe, and doing it without fully understanding how deep that hole actually goes. So here's the shift. Stop looking at the monthly payment. Start asking about the total cost of ownership, purchase price, interest paid over the full loan, insurance across that same period, maintenance, registration, all of it added up. That's the real number. And when you see it written out, the decision gets a lot clearer, fast. Here's something I noticed about people who actually build wealth. They don't deprive themselves. They're not driving terrible cars and eating nothing. That's not it. They just ask one different question before they decide. Is there a version of this that costs 30% less and does the same job? That's it. That one question, applied consistently over years, that's where the gap comes from. Not a massive income difference, not some secret investment strategy. Just a habit of pausing and asking if there's a smarter version of the same choice. Because small decisions repeated over time compound, just like money does. And the car decision is one of the biggest small decisions most people ever make. They just don't treat it that way. All right, let's bring it home. Same car, 3 choices, 3 completely different financial futures. Buying new with a long loan feels like the obvious move, but you absorb the biggest depreciation hit, you pay the most in interest, and you lock up your cash flow for years. Leasing feels smart because the payment is low, but you're in a cycle with no exit, no equity, no ownership, just payments that reset every 3 years forever. Buying used, 2 or 3 years old, lets someone else take that first value drop. Your payment is lower, your loan ends sooner, and the monthly difference, invested consistently, grows into something real. 5 years later, Maya has $13,000 building in an account. Jordan has a car. Tyler has nothing but receipts. Same car, different thinking, completely different outcomes. And look, this isn't about being cheap. It's not about suffering through a bad vehicle. It's about making a choice that your future self actually thanks you for. The question was never, can I afford the payment? The question is, what is this choice actually costing the version of me 5 years from now? Run the full numbers, all of them, then decide. Look, I'm not here to tell you what car to buy. That's genuinely your call. But I want walking into that dealership with your eyes open, knowing the full picture, not just the monthly number the finance manager is sliding across the desk. Because that number is designed to get a yes. And sometimes, yes is fine. But sometimes, it's quietly costing you years of progress you didn't even know you were losing. If this made you think differently about your next car decision, that's a win. That's exactly why I make these videos. Subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.